Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show where only one of us has technical issues before going on here every single week.
And
Welcome to Insider Gaming Weekly, a video game podcast. It is Thursday, September 25th, 2025. I'm, of course, one of your hosts, Mike Strauss, senior editor here at Insider Gaming. Joined with me, as always, by co-senior editor Grant Taylor Hill, senior producer, A to the P, Albert Perkins, and the head honcho himself, Tom Henderson. Before we get started, I want to drop a big thanks to Phil McCook, because as the show went off the air last week, before we could thank him, he dropped a monster $20 super chat, and I would not want to forget about it. So thank you, Phil. You usually join the show later on, but no, if you go back to the start, everybody will tell you we thanked you, and I appreciate it.
And what did
Very
Phil
much.
say with that super chat?
I don't know.
I'm
did
pretty
he
sure
say?
he said that I was like the MVP of the show.
Yeah, I think he said
I don't remember that. I don't
Oh, I
remember that.
totally
I
remember
did,
that.
no. I just
AP stole the show
Yep. Thank you very much. Told you,
on
Tom.
the show
no.
that he wasn't on
The showstopper.
because real life had to get in the way. Guys, how you feeling today? How you doing? How's your energy level? I know Tom doesn't have any.
Oh man, yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. It's good to be back after dealing with work and all that other fun stuff. I'm still dealing with it now. I've been really busy, so it's good to kind of now that things have kind of calmed down a smidge. It's nice to be able to get in here and just kind of unwind and talk about gaming, baby. And Tom, I hope you feel better, man.
Yeah, I'm all right today. Like, just a little bit tired, to be honest. I was up for about 3 days straight.
He was up so excited about these showcases that turned out to be nothing more than mid at best.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, just insomnia. It's just sometimes it gets really bad.
Gotcha.
But yeah, apart from that,
sucks.
I am good. I'm very well. How about you, Grant?
Yeah, man. I've had like I had a 5-day weekend that just ended this morning. So, bittersweet, I guess. But hey, the next weekend is only a day away now. So that's okay.
Yeah, there you go. Get to start it
Tasty.
again.
That's it,
That's
man.
a strategic holiday right there.
It's clever,
I
man.
loved the days when I was in an office job 9 to 5 before I did like this too, and I only focused on the 9 to 5 job, scheduling my breaks and my vacations around the long weekends and the holidays, so I could maximize how many days off. So it's like I knew there were 2 holidays coming up within like a week. I'd take 3 days off in between. I end up having like a 7-day off break.
Yeah, man.
Nice. There you
Strategic.
go.
That's it.
That's the way to do it.
Before we get into it, our good friend John from Xbox Era. Why is Tom not on camera? What's he hiding? He's hiding his beauty because there's 2 things. Either he's hiding his beauty and he doesn't want to make us jealous, or he's so ugly he's going to break the camera and cause YouTube to crash.
Let's take a vote because you've all seen me. Which one do you think it is?
Oh man.
How much do
Albert's
we
just
like our
fading out
jobs?
Yeah, exactly.
If he's just fading out of focus, he's just going to disappear from the screen now. So you're gonna have to
Into
have
the
to-
oblivion.
Now that
That's my
John's
tech,
here,
baby.
I wish I had that shirt. Damn it!
Oh, you said you was going to wear it.
I know. I keep forgetting
Oh,
to
man.
wear the shirt. Tom's too busy playing Balatro.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
I've been playing a different game this time.
What game is that, Tom? I think someone's been talking about it every week.
It's not Venom,
Oh, damn.
but it's Total War Rome 2,
That's great.
which is a completely random game to.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just wanted to play like a strategy game, and playing as Roman seemed like a good idea, and I've been kind of enjoying it. It's a little bit confusing because you need to build your settlements and give your legions kind of abilities and all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit confusing, but I'm getting into it slowly. I only played about 5 or 6 hours of it.
My brain's
But
too
yeah.
small for games like that, man. I can't keep up.
Everybody is convinced still that it's Knights of the Republic.
Yeah.
This is just a running thing at this point. It is Knights of the Old
man.
Republic. Of course, this is Insider Gaming Weekly, a video game podcast coming to you live every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. British summertime, till times change, and then it's different because life. We are available on demand after the show airs. on all your audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, and you can watch us anytime on YouTube over at youtube.com/@insider_gaming. Also, every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, the Insider Gaming newsletter goes out. We are fast approaching 100,000 subscribers. The goal is to get there by the end of the year. Will it happen? With your support, it will. It's free. We only send one a week. Exclusive columns, news recaps of things you might have missed, interviews you might have missed, stories you might have missed, upcoming game releases, video game trivia, fun facts, and more.
And definitely do subscribe because it's going to get very interesting for Insider Gaming in the next couple of weeks. The next few weeks are going to get very interesting.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Actually, it wasn't about Battlefield, but I mean,
yeah, I figured that's why a couple weeks. So we're only
no.
Yeah.
Like maybe between Battlefield and Call of Duty's release, we'll have something pretty special to announce. But I don't. Well, I can't say much more.
Stay tuned.
I don't know. Can we talk about what recently, before we get into what we've been playing, can we talk about what we recently kind of like relaunched that people have been asking for? You posted on social media, so I think we can.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yes.
Big things.
Insider Gaming now has a Discord again that is full, open to the public, only $29.99 per month for the Discord Ultimate plan.
For the lowest tier, actually. That's the ground floor.
Once we hit 100 or once we hit 1,000 paying subscribers, everybody will get a picture of Tom's face, and we will do the
What?
Hey,
Oh, you didn't know?
If we had 100,000 people pay us $30,
Yeah.
you'd totally show a picture of your face.
Definitely. Yeah.
But no, we do have a Discord now. We will post the link in the chat if you want to sign up. Still working on what we're going to have and all that fun stuff, but it will be there. It's free to join. Come hang out and chat with us and find out how much we don't like video games, really. None of us like them. So that transitions into the greatest opening segment of all time. What have you been playing?
Ooh.
Everybody wants to know. Grant, start with you. The Dying Light the Beast review is out. You're wearing it on your shirt. So have you moved on to something else?
No. No, I haven't. I haven't, have I? Let me think. No. You know what? One of my my like spare time games, if I get like free time with the ROG or whatever, I'm playing like Power Simulator. I don't know why. That's just one of my like absolutely, where you don't want to think about anything. You just want to spray some water and clean some stuff. I play that every so often, And then there's Fallout 76. I'm getting back into Fallout 76 again. I've been bitten by the Fallout bug, for like the 50 millionth time with the second season of the show fast approaching, sitting on an absolute gold mine of information about Fallout 76 right now. Some absolutely insane stuff I really can't even talk about at all. And I'm really buzzing to see, what's coming in the next few months. But it really
got really mad this morning.
I did. Yeah,
I saw that. I saw that.
I mean, we'll get around to that. We're going to talk about Tokyo a little bit, but I thought something had changed with some reveal dates for some certain bits and pieces. But yeah, Dying Light the Beast, man, that's what it's been. I completed it ahead of doing the review, completed it through, rinsed the thing in like 35 odd hours, and then booted up the PlayStation 5 version and went straight in again and just doing a second loop around the track. But this time I'm taking it a little bit easier, digging up the Easter eggs people are finding. There's some absolutely crazy Easter eggs out there, which is part and parcel of it for Dying Light and for Techland. There's loads to see and do. I've stressed to so many people, this is a 50, 60 hour game minimum. And it's kind of as long as you want to make it, because there's just so much stuff you can do. Like you dig into any little corner, you never know what you're going to find. It's crazy. But there's exciting stuff still to come from Techland. I think there's some bits that they haven't announced that I might have leaned into a little bit on insidergaming.com. But there's still some stuff they yet to reveal about Dying Light the Beast. That's some post-launch stuff. So fingers crossed that comes out soon, because it is a great time to be a Dying Light fan. It's crazy good right now. It's pumped up. 5 out of 5.
Wow.
It's time. Brandon, thank you for the $2 super chat. Tom, the game, everything, all the exciting stuff. You're talking about Halo, right? That's what Brandon wants to know. Halo, the game that I famously said a year ago that in 5 years' time it would be bigger than Call of Duty again.
What? I don't understand the question. I don't understand the
Are you
question.
talking about Halo as the game you've been playing under NDA?
Oh,
Sure. No.
it has an O in the game name.
Yeah, not.
Ready.
Venom has an O in the game name.
Oh, you've done it now.
Uh-oh.
But no.
Oh.
So
You
does
do see a
Knights of the
question.
Old Republic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that has two.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Oh man. AP. What about you? You playing anything?
Same old, Mike. Rolling through my season in college football 26. Finally got the second season rolling, and man, I was doing great. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 3-0. Everything's looking up. Time to get into conference play, and then I run into the Florida State Seminoles. And you're probably wondering to yourself, how are you playing the Florida State Seminoles if you're the Alabama Crimson Tide? Well, I moved the Alabama Crimson Tide out of the SEC and moved them to the ACC. So that's how that's happening. But
Because nothing screams Atlantic Coast like Alabama.
yeah,
No, if Stanford can be in there, I don't care anymore.
exactly, right?
When I think
But,
of the Atlantic side of the states, I think of California.
Totally. Same thing with the Big Ten,
SMU,
right? If you kind of look
Texas.
at it, with the UCLA and USC and everything, right? But
Yeah.
man, I ran into them and it was just like I couldn't do anything. It was horrible. I got slaughtered last night. So I'm 3-1. We'll see how things go. I'm also going to be switching it up a little bit. I did finally go ahead and pick up Metal Gear. So I'm going to be playing Metal Gear Solid Delta here. I think I'm going to kick that off tonight. So I'm looking forward to playing that, man. I haven't played that game in years, and it's nice to going to be so exciting to play the remake, man. That's going to be phenomenal.
But what difficulty do you aim for when you play it?
Yeah, that's a good question, Grant. I don't know oh man, it's been so long since I played a Metal Gear game. I don't know if I'm going to be like rusty, you know, if I should maybe start off a little easier, but then I don't want to start off too easy because then I'll look like a chump, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I might start off kind of high and then maybe see how things work out, and if it's too difficult, maybe put it down.
It's way more accessible. Like if you use the new control scheme and like the new layout and stuff, it's just it's way more accessible, and I feel like it just makes it so much easier. Like when it comes to like inputs and stuff.
Yeah.
And like the UI and how you equip your camo and everything is like so much quicker and more fluid.
Sick.
But yeah, so I reckon it's like easier to play it on a harder difficulty than it was like 20 odd years ago. So but I still played it on the easiest.
Did you? Okay.
Because I was very low on time. Have you ever seen Snake Eater on the easiest? Have you seen where you get the little tranquilizer gun?
Yes.
You get the little mini. It's called like the easy gun, and then when you have it equipped, you never drop below 80% camo, and it's an absolute. I got every boss killed with like trank, and so I got all their camos, and I waltzed through the game. It was like 5 hours top to bottom, and I just waltzed through it. You'll like stand straight in front of like, I don't know, whoever. They're just like, they don't even see that you're there.
They don't even see you with
just
the
standing
camo.
there in like bright orange camo or like a tuxedo
awesome.
or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously it's a cheaper way to play it, and I'll go back
Right.
to maybe do it on a lot higher difficulty. But I just wanted to get it done. I wanted to see the end, man. I wanted the soundtrack. I wanted the fight with the boss at the end. You know,
Yeah,
legendary stuff, man. You're going to enjoy it.
Absolutely. Oh, I can't wait. Fighting that flower garden. Oh my gosh. That's going to be
gorgeous.
God, spoilers. God, for a
Oh,
game
come on. The
a
game's been
remake.
out for how long now?
It's been 20 years.
I know. I always find that funny. There are people like, I can't believe you'd spoil this. Dude, it's a remaster.
Yes,
Remake.
yes,
right?
yes. Techno Cookie. I don't know how she knows this, if that is a she. The trophy for not killing anyone. I made it all the way. I was making such a critical, because you know you go through the whole game without killing anyone. You trank everyone instead.
Yeah.
Got all the way to the end, and I thought I had done it completely clear. Like there was one point I tranked a guy, he fell into the water. I thought, okay, that guy's going to die, so I just reloaded save. All the way to the end, I killed one person, and I don't know who that was, where it happened. I have no idea. So if I wanted that achievement, I have to go all the way back through the whole game again. I just have no idea where they were. I can't think of who it could have been.
Unreal.
Get to restarting.
Yeah.
I can't talk about what I've been playing.
Oh, you secret as well. You kept under. You got to keep under wraps too.
Yeah, I October
man.
9th is when I can talk about the game I've been playing.
Oh wait, that's no, I don't know what it is.
I might have a hunch. Maybe not.
I played it
I
at
have
Summer
no
Game
idea.
Fest. I've talked about it on this show. These are the
I
hints
think I have a
I'll give.
hunch.
And I absolutely love it. Loved it at Summer Games Fest, and I'm playing it now. October 9th is when I can start playing.
I'm thinking of what it's going to be. I don't know what it could be.
Yeah, I have an idea.
Yeah, so that's all I've been doing.
Brutal. Have you been?
It also has an O in it.
Have you been building happiness with the game?
Nope, that's not the game yet. That is coming. But this
trying to think of another pun.
This game it does have an O in it though, which is that's fantastic that's a thing.
Followed by a Y.
No, I had to think about it. I'm like, no. How do you spell it? Nope. It is not NASCAR, Brandon. That I can talk about because it hasn't come out yet. We will have a review of
still
NASCAR
think
25.
I know what it is,
but
well, think of a pun then. Let's play a game. Why are you just
No, it's not Ghost of Yotei. It's not Ghost of Yotei. No one's gonna guess it. And I'm okay. And that's the way. I like it. But we do have a lot to talk about. So we're gonna move on to Xbox. We'll start with Xbox and then we'll move to Sony because Sony ultimately had more news in their broadcast. But there is some Xbox news. There's some Xbox rumors. John had asked about it earlier. About something that's going to be revealed after this show is recorded. Expected, we're going to get the confirmed price of the Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X handhelds. Grant and I got into a bit of an argument, quote unquote argument, misunderstanding about what we deem affordable pricing.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah. But
the Xbox showcase we'll get to as well because there was the one game that was revealed at the end that everybody expected in Forza Horizon 7. Other than that, I can't believe I woke up early to watch that.
I didn't watch it at all. So
you didn't miss a thing. I don't think
I missed it as well. I saw a couple highlights, but yeah, sounds
there are
like
a couple
I'm glad
things,
I missed it.
the things that stood out that were cool. The flight simulator, it was very keyed towards the Japanese audience, which they usually are. These ones. The Flight Simulator Japan update, awesome as someone who likes the Flight Simulator game. The Forza Horizon 6, we knew what was coming, but I think what was disappointing is all it was a teaser. With more to come in early next year and early 2026, we'll have more. We got a new look at Sudden Strike 5, which is a game that I think is cool, and it's a game that Tom probably would fall in love. I know he wasn't paying attention or watching it, but even Andy mentions like Tom's probably watching this and naming every single tank that's being shown.
Yeah,
on
I did
screen.
actually see that because that was the only game that was interesting.
And but like that's a game. Bruce Lee was revealed as a partner against the Dragon for an upcoming event in Hitman World of Assassination. Though it was funny watching Bruce Lee talk and not move his mouth. In the trailer, Bruce Lee was talking, but this was his head. And I laughed. I'm like, this is straight up 2000s.
That's almost like whenever they're like speaking and their mouths are like still moving because it's dubbed, in English or whatever, and then they're speaking Japanese, but they have the Japanese track like muted or whatever.
Yeah, the dub,
so like an instance like, so what's the plan?
Yep,
like that. You know what I mean?
Old kung fu movies were the best for that. I loved how they would dub it. And then we got to look at multiplayer maps that were inspired by Japan. Toshin, which is they say it's a 2035 look at Tokyo, and then Den, which is set in the countryside just outside Tokyo. Cool, but Call of Duty just again still has zero, even with the multiplayer intel drop, and we got the zombies drop. It does nothing for me because I think they've burned too many bridges with me personally to where I could care less. Couldn't care less.
Do you think it would? I mean, like, because I guess being in the industry, we knew stuff like Flight Simulator was going to happen. We knew that Forza was going to Japan. Do you think if you didn't know that stuff, you would have perceived it better, or do you still think it was just a underwhelming show?
overall, I think it was an underwhelming show. Would have been an underwhelming if I didn't know the Forza Horizon thing, which also thanks to Instagram ads, Xbox's Instagram ads, the marketing team pushed them out early. It was the rumor that everybody knew was spoiled hours before the showcase.
Yeah.
I think if I had no idea what was coming and they closed still with that teaser, it would have fell flat as well. Because all we got was a teaser with nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, it's still underwhelming because it's just like kind of panning through a garage and then it pans up and there's the logo and then there's like, Tokyo and everything. It's like, okay, cool, but like love to see some kind of like, even if it's just CGI, a CGI
exactly.
teaser, it's like,
just give me something more than a 30-second teaser.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously the big news coming out of the showcase wasn't even anything that was shown in the showcase. It was all the rumors and the leaks of pricing in Canada, the UK, and then the countdown on Asus's Facebook page of a price reveal for the Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X, rumored to be happening after we record this at 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Rumors are $599 US, $999,000 for the X, and $599
what is that
for the lower
noise,
version.
man?
I have no idea. It's my
like a
child. That's what it is.
It sounded like a slow-moving fan or something.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But Grant and I got into a little bit of it on the Discord.
There it is again.
I'm gonna fight my children in a minute. I want to know what he's moving up there. They're doing it on purpose now.
It's like dragging a dining table across the floor or something.
Yeah.
But Grant and I got into a little argument that wasn't really an argument, just more of a coming from two different angles of the pricing of it.
Yeah.
Grant, you think for what it is, the lower end Xbox Ally is cheap. I still think it's expensive as hell no matter how you swing it.
Yeah, that was the debate because I was like, the prices came through on the Discord. There were a couple of sources that came up with it. There was like was it like Canadian?
The first price was Canadian, and then we got UK.
Yeah, and then the UK prices came up from some of the retailers, and I saw the earlier price, and I was like, wow, that's mad cheap, and that kind of kicked off. And like, in what world is that cheap? Because I was looking at it from this perspective of in the handheld market, that's cheap. Whereas it was kind of it was kind of confused a bit because you were looking from the perspective of like, in general, that's an expensive thing. That's an expensive purchase. Because I mean, admittedly, yeah, I just bought an Ally X like less than a year ago for £800. Am I going to go out and buy another one now, the Xbox One, for another £800? That's £1,600 in a year on handheld, gaming devices that I used to play Power Wash Simulator. So probably not. But in terms of like the standard one being 500, I'm going to say pounds because that's my money, right? £500 is not that bad. That's comparable with like an OLED Stream Deck. It's way cheaper than what the Legion 2 is coming out at. It's what's it? The MSI, the new Claw they just got out, the 8 AI is like £900. So even the Ally X is cheaper than that. So I think in terms of like where it is in the market and for what it offers and the tech that's inside it and, the whole Xbox partnership, the UI and everything, I think that's a steal. I think anyone that hasn't got one, if you can go out and get the newest thing with the Xbox stuff on board, which obviously might come to like, other units or whatever, but you can go and get that for $500. I think that's a great entry-level handheld gaming device. Obviously, like the upgrade in spec between that and the X is crazy. Like you've got like, what is it, like 8 gig extra RAM? You've got the extreme processor over the Z2A. You've got the boosted storage, the longer battery life. There are so many reasons for you to go out and get the X. Like if you don't have one, I'd really recommend getting it because mine is like my handiest companion. It goes everywhere with me. Every time I travel, I've got it.
On your front, Ben put it in the chat. And I think he's correct that they're working on having that Xbox OS like streamlined on the ROG Allies that already exist. So at that point, now there's literally no point unless you don't have
I think it was back in LA Summer Games Fest that was kind of like touted. There were some people talking about that, but
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because I don't know specifically if there's any upgrades beyond the cosmetic, like the different shell, the Xbox branding on there. There's a little bit of, I think they tweak some of the buttons, some of the face buttons and stuff, the thumbsticks. Besides that, I don't think the internals are any different. Still a terabyte, still 24 gig RAM, still 80 whatever it is, kilowatt. I don't know how you measure the thingy,
The battery life. Yeah.
the battery, I think all that's the same.
The
I think
watt
it's just
hours.
the shell that's different. So if you don't care about that, you just pop on your
Go
your
get an Xbox sticker
OS
and put it
upgrade.
on the back.
Exactly, and that's it. Because mine sits here. Mine's in the background like every show. There's not a spot wrong with it. It's absolutely perfect. So if I don't have to upgrade, I won't. Like, I can see them if they come out and they say, "Oh, hey, by the way, this fancy new." Because one of the worst things about it is the UI. The Windows 11 UI, whatever, is not built for a little handheld touch.
That was my problem with
terrible.
The Legion Go, any of them, the MSI Claw, all of them.
Yeah,
I hate.
That's it.
Granted, I use Windows. I hate Windows, especially on a mobile front. My biggest gripe with the Legion Go was that you'd have to log in like a regular Windows machine. So I'm typing in my password. Like, this is stupid. Whereas I had the Steam Deck at the same time, and I was tempted to keep the Legion Go and get rid of the Steam Deck. It took me like a week to go, I'd rather the Steam Deck because of how simple it is.
Yeah, so that's it. So if people already have it, they don't have to upgrade. But for those that want to get into it for the first time, then I think 500 or 800 for the upgraded one is a good deal.
Eagle Eyes Gaming says Grant is right. It is relatively cheap compared to the wider market. Yes, compared to the wider market, but you're going to get hit.
That's new.
Yeah, it is. Took me by surprise.
You get booed because no one can say Grant's right. Grant is never right.
No, I do hear that quite a lot.
But in the grand scheme of things, comparatively speaking, it is cheaper.
Yeah.
Where my point was, I hate that is viewed as the cheap option. Like, I'm still in my head, like, for the specs of what it is, it's not like this is brand new hardware. No matter what, you're looking at 3-4 year old hardware at the least in this device. It is not, to me, worth 500, 600, 800, 900, whatever it ends up being.
I think it's hard to price it. Like, what would you realistically price it as when you take on board, like, at face value, everything that it can do and everything that it has? And, like I said, mine's a year old and it hasn't got a single sign of it slowing down, like the longevity of it. How much would you price that at, realistically?
The entry level, like, personally, I'd not put it over. This is like dollars to cents, obviously. I'd still not put it over 450 at a max. And even that, I'm like, But I know, like, there's this mindset of, like, you look at and, like, why should consoles be $400 instead of $500? Why should, like, it's just because of what we got used to. But I still think low-end models should be priced to get people in the door. And at the end of the day, it's still a lower-end model that should be priced at a get people in the door type of price. Like, I don't think it should be $300. I don't think we'll ever see that again.
I mean, a lot of the time it doesn't pan out as well as you might think, though. Like, look at the Xbox Series S and X. The Xbox Series S is a lower end model priced appropriately, but
not anymore.
It doesn't, well, not anymore, but compared to the Series X, but like, there's so many things that it doesn't do well. How many developers have come out saying they've had problems getting their games out the door because they can't optimize for the Series S? Like, I guess that's an issue with trying to get something like cheapy, entry level-y. Like, you just can't. There's only so low you can go before it becomes worthless manufacturing the damn thing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that makes sense. I just, you're going, Tom. You've been quiet.
I was just going to say, I think for me, the thing with handhelds, and this isn't just for the Ally, but all handhelds, is, for me personally, at this moment in time, I still haven't really seen a good use case for a handheld that has these high FPS and high graphics. And what I mean by that is, if I am playing on a plane with a handheld or on the bus or whatever, like, I'm always playing games like Balatro or like this smaller graphic type of game rather than a full AAA experience. And I find it hard to believe that a lot of people will play, let's just say, the latest battle, theoretically, the latest Battlefield game on a handheld on a plane. Like, I just don't see that happening. And all these companies,
latency comes into play, right?
Yeah, but a lot of companies are pushing for, and I guess it's even said for the console market, right? Like they're pushing for the highest graphics possible, and I think we're now at a point where we don't really need that. And we've had this conversation time and time again. Some of the best games in the last 2 years, like Balatro, you could argue, even Split Fiction, Clair Obscure, the Prince Blueprints, like these are all really phenomenal games. That's a mobile game. Like, they all have. Yeah, I think he is. Yeah. I mean, he's just so engaged with the conversation.
I just saw him staring. I was like, that dude isn't moving, man.
But yeah,
like I said, only one of us every week has technical issues.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I just feel like this push for these high specs and graphics and stuff are just gonna cancel each other out, if that makes sense, because you kind of just push it, like you to get 60 FPS or whatever, you just obviously using high-end tech, which is then just going to push away the barrier of entry. It's going to make it a lot higher,
and it's going to kill battery life. You look at these handhelds.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're playing a high-powered game like a Cyberpunk or even a Hogwarts Legacy on mobile or whatever, your battery life is less than an hour. You're not playing these games for 40-minute sessions.
Well, that's what I say about the ROG, right? And it obviously has 3 settings. You've got quiet, turbo, quiet, performance, and turbo. And I usually opt for performance because it's your balance mode, isn't it, right? And I will play, like Tom, to what you were saying, like no one's playing like recently. What I use it for, when we went away for a few days, I took the ROG, and at night I was playing Fallout 76 through it. Absolutely fine, no issues whatsoever. And I also played some other bits, like on flights, I'll play like some Fallout 4 or something, or like some Skyrim, or something with a few years on it that's still really enjoyable. And I have tried to put it through its paces with games like first person shooters. Like I put Black Ops 6 on there, and I played that for a bit, and it's okay, but it's not like I think AP said something about the latency issue and stuff, and like I'm used to playing on a PC hardwired and whatever, and it it makes a difference, but like they are I'd say they're definitely capable. Like I played Diablo 4 on it for hours and hours. They are definitely capable of playing games at that kind of like high fidelity, high frame rate, whatever, as long as you mess with the settings a bit. But I don't think it's a case of like them trying to make games that can go that like should go that high or are supposed to go that high. But I think it's like having the option to crank them up a bit, because like if I'm sitting on a plane, like I know you said like people most commonly use them for small games, like bit piece games, like but I would genuinely, I can get immersed, like wherever I am I can get immersed, and I think having that kind of the option to make it just a bit more enjoyable for me, like visually, it makes a big difference. So that's why if I have had to come to a market and buy them, I'd definitely go for the higher one, which I did with my Ally X, because I appreciate the fact that I can crank it. Maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe I'm one of the few people that is out there playing like AAA games on a handheld, but I don't make a habit of it. But when I'm going away, I still want to play my games. I get an Xbox Play Anywhere. It's just become instantly even more possible.
I have a problem where I can't play certain games on small screens.
Yeah,
I can play the Hollow Knights. I can play the Slay the Spires. I can play the Balatros, whatever. I can play the game I'm currently reviewing. I can play a TMNT Tactical Takedown, Streets of Rage, like those types of games. I can't go in and play, like I mentioned earlier, a Cyberpunk on there. I can't play a Call of Duty on there or whatever it may be. I just can't. I need the bigger display so I can see what I need to see.
I don't know. I guess this is an incredibly niche question and it's entirely circumstantial. But on like a long haul flight, for example, if you're playing a high end game that reduces your battery life to 3 or 4 hours, obviously you have got plugs on international flights. But do they charge it as like? Is there enough wattage from it?
Probably not.
I've never had to usually.
I think we went. I can't remember if it was. I think it was LA, and me and Grant was on the same plane, and we were sat next to John. And he played. I can't remember what game he was playing. It was a high end game, but he literally played it for half an hour and then went straight to Balatron or something like that. And I think again that just proves that there isn't that much of a use case for high end games on handhelds. At least in my opinion. Maybe I'm entirely wrong, but when I've been out to these gaming events and the planes are full of the sweatiest gamers you ever have seen in your life, and everyone's on a handheld, but they're all playing these lower end games, it makes you think, well, is there really a market for a $1,000 handheld? But then and again, there probably is, because Lenovo just announced they needed to cancel some pre-orders, right? But
I suppose
that could be a lie though, because they could have been like, we're going to manufacture 5,000 or whatever, and they just sold out. Like, it could have been a low unit amount that they did. I don't think the numbers for that have been released, but
in a way as well, I guess it's like going off and spending like silly money on a laptop to browse the internet, or going and buying like a crazy OLED TV to like just watch a bit of Netflix. I think you'll find
I know a lot of people. Someone brought it up.
You'll find it in any niche, any vertical. Like you buy a really nice car and use it to commute to work and back, and that's it.
I think Eagle Eye brought up too. Emulation's a big reason why folks will buy these handhelds, which I agree.
That's true.
One of the first things I did with Steam Deck was get it to play retro games.
Yeah, that's it.
But again, was high specs needed for that?
No, not at all. And then that's why the Steam Deck's perfect for it.
I think going to the point of laptops as well is like, I mean, obviously this is probably just me, but we had this conversation at Gamescom, me and Grant, because Grant, I think you was a bit tired from walking around with a 3 kilogram laptop in your bag or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I just pulled out like a Asus netbook, and he held it in his hand, and he was like, I'm going to get one because it's like 500 grams. And I think that is kind of like, we're currently in this tech race with handhelds, where eventually I think people are just going to realize we've either hit the limit, or we're just not selling what we should. And then they're probably going to go and revert to things like saving weight and all that kind of stuff. And
I have 2 laptops. I have this big MSI Titan HX, and then I get this HP Omen. I take the HP Omen on every trip I take because it's a third of the weight. And then when you count the power brick, it's a quarter of the weight. You are carrying basically a desktop PC with this MSI one. And I remember writing the review for it for Insider Gaming. My problem is it's one of the best machines I've ever used. It's just not a laptop. It's just for somebody who wants the desktop power, but doesn't have the space for a desktop tower. And we hit the point. It's kind of like when cell phones were blocky and huge, and then they got really tiny, because that's just what people wanted.
You dropping bars just then, if I heard you correctly. Something like, this has the desktop power for those that don't have room for a desktop tower or something. I was like, oh man.
Shakespeare.
Look out, Drake.
I'm way better than that hack. Team Kendrick, dude.
Yeah, same, bro. I'm with you.
Moving on, we have to move on because there's another showcase that happened that was not as disappointing, but pretty disappointing. And I saw a comment on social media about it, and it kind of sums up my feelings too. Maybe still was a little nicer. PlayStation had their State of Play Wednesday evening, and it was 35 minutes of a bunch of games. Most of them we got first looks at. Some were announcements. We got first looks at the Battlefield campaign story. We got a gameplay look at Saros. We got the announcement of Flight Sim 2024 coming in December to PS5. We got Tom's favorite game, Deus Ex, remastered, launching in 2026. We got a first look and release date for Halloween the game. Fantastic. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for.
Phenomenal.
It releases next year, like next September or something.
Yeah, September 8th of next year. I don't know why they did it a year out, but we'll see. We got Crimson Desert finally got a release date. We got the greatest announcement of the show, which was the wireless speakers And a God of War announcement.
I
got
thought it was
that
the
God
God
of
of War
War announcement.
controller. Yeah.
And it was a controller. And then we closed it, confirming Tom's recent report that the Wolverine trailer was ready and likely for summer or State of Play. It closed with a behind-the-scenes look and a gameplay trail of Wolverine. So, high-level question, AP, since you were gone for a while, I'm going to start with you.
Uh-oh.
What did you think of the State of Play? What stood out? We all know Wolverine stood out to all of us, I think. Aside from that, what stood out to you, and how would you grade this as a show?
Yeah, whenever it comes down to it, man, I always look at these events with a glass half full type of perspective. I know you guys are kind of like thinking, oh, it wasn't necessarily as good. I could totally see where you're coming from with this, but man, look, Saros wasn't even on my radar. I was like, I don't really know too much about this game. And then I see the gameplay of it, and I thought it looked phenomenal. I mean, I thought it was great. You had that eclipse in view the whole time. I thought that was really, really awesome. Look, man, let's just see what Housemarque's doing, man. It looks like they're cooking up something. Let's just see what the entree is whenever they're done cooking. You know what I'm saying? Look, I love Flight Simulator. You love Flight Simulator. I finally get a chance to play it on PlayStation. That's going to be great. I used to have a Series X. Before I sold it, I played it like all the time, so I loved playing Flight Simulator. Say what you want. I know it's boring. You just take it off and flying and cruising and landing. Like, say what you want, whatever.
I
it's
have
still
my flight
so
stick.
Fun. Yeah,
I have my flight sticks. I got my rudder. I got my whole setup. And every now and then, maybe like 3-4 times a year, I will get myself all set up, and I will take myself on like a 3.5-hour flight.
Oh, that's incredible. Oh, man.
And and the fact I can do that with
it.
3 kids, it's at like 11 o'clock at night when I know I'm not sleeping that night.
Yeah.
And I'll just fly.
I love it.
Cruise.
Yep. Heck yeah, man. Deus Ex, obviously that's going to be great. That was a nice surprise announcement. That'll be coming next year. I'm with you guys whenever it comes to Halloween. Why? I mean, I'm excited for it. It's going to be great. It is spooky season now that we're in late September heading into October. It would have been great if it was coming this year, but like, it's kind of hard to get excited for a game that's not coming until next September. Like, I don't understand why they announced it now. I don't know. I'm kind of puzzled by that too. I feel like an announcement for that should have came maybe next summer. It just feels a little preemptive to me, but maybe they're just trying to drive hype. Who knows? Say what you want about those speakers, bro. I'm all about them. I think they're going to be awesome because whenever I play, I usually play with a headset in the studio here. And, sometimes I get tired of wearing a headset. So it'll be kind of nice to actually have some speakers set up in here and everything whenever I'm playing at night and my wife's asleep and whatnot. Just keep the volume low, whatever.
I'm still using the same Logitech G560 or whatever speakers that I've had for almost 10 years now.
Oh, that's solid. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing that anybody asked for, obviously, but it's still pretty cool. We'll see what it's. I didn't see. Did they announce a price point for it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I thought someone made a comment. I kind of agree. Tom, your thoughts? Someone's like, you take away Saros, which Saros I was excited for, and then I watched the gameplay and completely killed any excitement I had for it. But you take away Saros and Wolverine, and this showcase should have been an email.
Oh my.
And I kind of agree with that point.
Damn.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. Like, I think if you do look at it, there's probably something for everyone in the State of Play. But
it's a little something for everyone.
But I feel like they needed, like, we are very long due, like a big State of Play or a big PlayStation
That'd be a showcase, right?
Yeah. Like we haven't seen one in 3 years, and now that we're entering this last couple of years of the PlayStation 5, it feels like we are owed one. Mike's kids are
trashing the place, man.
It's throwing wrestlers around.
If your throat's not working tomorrow, I understand, because you're going to be shouting.
Got me dropping connection. Got Mike's kids going crazy.
I'm trying to work.
But yeah, I think that there was something for everyone, but I went into it with probably two I guess, too high of expectations because I do think we are due some really strong stuff. Wolverine,
That's a fair
cool.
argument.
Like Wolverine, I think, it is what it is, and it's nice to see Insomniac finally show it off right after everything that they've been through. Battlefield 6 campaign, obviously the trailer looks really good in my opinion, but now after seeing some gameplay, it doesn't look as good. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it looks terrible. The Battlefield subreddit is literally saying like you need to delay the campaign, or just cut it from the game entirely. Which I had a conversation with. I was doing some consultancy work earlier today with investors, and they like what I was saying to them is that people obviously we don't buy Battlefield for multiplayer. For campaign, sorry, everyone buys it for multiplayer. But this, if the campaign releases in that state, it's gonna ruin like how the media perceives it. Like the Metacritic score is probably going to be 80, 85, somewhere around there. Because if that campaign's not where it needs to be, I mean, as we all know, campaign is probably one of the key things that a lot of people do. The media looks at. So it's a bit concerning, really, that this potentially phenomenal game that by 99.9% of accounts hasn't really had any negativity around it. Everyone's happy with it, and now they released. I can't remember if it was a preview on like IGN or something like that, but it just looked really, really bad.
There were a bunch of gameplay from the campaign that came out. And but I'm also, everybody knows my thoughts on campaign. I don't play single player campaigns and first person shooters at all. I don't touch them.
Yeah, I think the worry for me is that the worry for me is that it's just going to be perceived very negatively from the reviews and stuff, and it's probably going to not do that well. But apart from the Battlefield tangent, Saros looked. Yeah, I wasn't happy with it, to be honest. I think it is confused as to what it wants to be.
What we said, isn't it? We were in the Discord when it was playing out. We were like, what is it?
Grant brought up a point on that game that then I went back and watched the trailer multiple times.
Is it the stairs?
It's the stairs. It's how he moves. He moves as if he's not on the ground, and he's just everything.
Nothing is in his way. Nothing is in his. He runs up the stairs. He doesn't break stride. He doesn't slow down. He just bombs up the stairs like it's a ramp. It's crazy. Yeah, in this day and age, man.
The more I watched it, the more I'm like, everything's kind of floaty.
Yeah. I think is it House Marquee?
House Mark, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If that name
all over again.
Who's Marquee?
If that name wasn't connected with this game and it was a different developer, I think it would be perceived quite differently. Yeah. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on the showcase. Overall, I'd give it like a C, maybe a D.
Yeah, probably go B minus. A little half glass, half full.
Everybody's talking about Saros being Returnal 2.0 and what. Sure, that's fine, but it's not like Returnal was this highly well-regarded game that deserves, everybody's praise for a sequel and all that. I mean, sure, I know it was like mixed. I think the user score, granted, you can only take Metacritic so far, but it had mixed reviews from a user standpoint. Critically, it was acclaimed for the most part, but mixed general player population, and that's kind of where, Toxic made a comment. Returnal was a game, not a good one, but not a bad one, and that's kind of how I felt.
Yeah. No, I mean, for me, it was like an F. I'm with Tom. Like the only thing
even with Wolverine, you'd give it a failing grade.
I don't really like. I mean, Wolverine's obviously a cool character.
Sure.
I like Hugh Jackman's representation of him. I never got into the comic side of things really, but I mean, I could take it or leave it. Even the Spider-Man games, I got them just to get them. I didn't get them at launch either. I got them like months after. Superhero games, they've never really done much for me, to be honest. Even like a kind
Gotcha.
of anti-hero kind of, to what Wolverine would really be. I never really seen the attraction for him that much. So for me, the Battlefield thing was like it. I saw the trailer and I was like Tom, I thought, oh, this looks really cool, because I've said before on previous episodes how I do aim to play and enjoy the campaigns I have for every Battlefield that I've ever played. And I rue the fact that 2042 didn't have one. So knowing earlier this year as well, they were talking about it being like the least completed part of the game. And they had to, cut a bunch of stuff out of it and whatever. And that's obviously coming through in the gameplay now. Like, it's there. We were seeing it unfold, and it does look like it's going to blow pretty hard. But I'll still give it the time of day. I'm still enjoying it. So I'm still looking forward to potentially enjoying it anyway. But apart from that, there was nothing memorable from the showcase.
I was worried about the goriness of Wolverine.
Of Wolverine, yeah.
As soon as I saw that trailer, sold.
Yeah.
I'm also a big fan. Like, I'm not a fan of horror games, like suspense, and this might just be my stupid warped American mind. Gory games like that are like right up my alley.
No, that's what I mean. So I look at it that right. I love it. Okay, so like Dying Light the Beast has great gore. If you look at something like Dead Island 2, where these games are developing engines specifically for gore, like Dead Island 2 had like the Flesh engine, where it was like individual. You smack them in the leg, you see the bones snap, and and whatever, and it gets really, really, really visceral. I like that. Like, one of my favorite games I should never admit these things. One of my favorite games growing up was The Punisher on PlayStation 2. And that was really dark for the time. That was pure Punisher, where you could put people in like wood chippers and
torture.
Stuff like that. And
yes,
exactly. It was crazy, I love that. But aside from seeing them delivering the gore, because I know how important that is for comic book fans, that Wolverine's accurately represented. And there was a bit in the walkthrough where the woman was like, she was saying like, oh, there was a bit where he puts the claws through the bottom of the guy's head, and she was like, oh, maybe this is going a bit too far. We're like, are you serious? That's
you don't
about
know Wolverine.
Right,
Yeah,
that's about it. That's it, man.
People in the chat are losing their mind right now over our thoughts on Returnal. The benefit is this is a show where we have opinions.
I never played Returnal.
This is the first time you've tuned in. My opinions usually are so out there, I get scoffs from at least 2 of the 3 other people on this show.
That is a fair point as well. That Philo talking about the user score in 25 being insane. Like, that's a very good point, bringing in like The Last of Us Part 2 with the user score thing. Like, there are games that came out that I absolutely loved, that the audience general, like Stalker 2, for example. I gave that a really high review score and I loved it. And when it came out, it was a bit of a mess. Okay. And it got dragged. Again,
but like, you loved it. That's an opinion you have. And look at the Dying Beast of Light.
If you looked at the user score,
I'm pretty sure we talked about it. You gave Dying Beast of Light, of all the critical reviews, the highest score.
Yeah. 5 out of 5, full marks. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, The Last of Us 2, you ready for this hot take? If people want to say can't fix bad taste, Mr. B, The Last of Us from a game perspective is overrated and mid. Story, fantastic.
Well,
game,
game,
how it plays as a game, nothing special to write about.
Oh boy.
Moving on.
Wait, I think it's time for Grant's weekly podcast meltdown where he breaks his lights.
Oh my god!
Just pull these shelves.
And I know Grant's got the tattoos.
Yeah, man.
But the thing is, the story.
I got Ellie on the shelf back here.
I love the story. Absolutely love it. Like, it's a game where I watch the show. I'll catch the show. I will watch the story back. Everything, the lore behind it, the gameplay itself, did not care for.
But why though? Was it just like you didn't feel like there was enough interactivity? Maybe.
Yeah. I felt like I was just guiding and this is my problem with most games. It's why not most games, with a lot of games, I feel like I don't really care to guide the character just to the next cutscene. Yeah. If that makes any sense. Like, I want what I do to really matter in a game, where if I'm just guiding to the next cutscene, I'm like,
I think there's part 2 as well, when they broadened it and they made the explorable areas a bit wider, and you had the different characters that had their own strengths and whatever. And I think there was a lot more to it than going between cutscenes. I think there definitely was a bit more, not a hell of a lot more. Like there's no beaten paths to really stray off. But like, for example, when you go to the first real open area in Last of Us Part 2, when you're in Seattle, and you've got that big open area where there's like some stores, there's a bank, there's some collapsed buildings, there's some camps and stuff, and you can really spend a couple hours there just exploring that little area and finding all the Easter eggs and hidden items and stuff. And that's like semi-open. It's small, but it's like semi-open.
Mm-hmm.
And that,
I know
for
which
example,
part
is
you're
like
talking about. Yeah.
exactly, that's like a crazy expansion on what they had in the first game, where it was really quite linear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and that they obviously they carried that on through to the pacing in Last of Us Part 2 was really good, because they did have a couple more of those really bigger open areas, and then they broke it down into really channeling you through corridors and stuff. And I think it's great. Like games like that, I think they I like when they exist alongside the massive open world RPGs that I play, where I'm just sat down and they say, do whatever you want. The world is your oyster. Sometimes you want to be guided a little bit between cutscenes and just enjoy a story, So I'm fine with that.
Alley Cat sends a $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Calling my take bogus on The Last of Us. The thing is, it might be, but I know I'm not the only one with that opinion on the gameplay. UFC 6 when? I'll tell you this. It was planned for a launch this year, this fall. That obviously isn't happening. But that was the original plan as of earlier this year. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but that's where we're at. It is not a bogus take. It is the right take.
Squeak is back again, man.
Squeak would say otherwise.
Apparently, Insider Gaming Weekly is turning into Mike Sucks.
Mike Sucks Weekly.
It's just, and no one's defending me. What happened to free speech? No, I'm not even. Nope.
Oh, let's not go there. Calm down, Jimmy.
Oh man, here we go.
I've been up since 4:30 this morning, my time, which is very rare for me to get up that early. I'm losing it. I'm absolutely losing it. So, was there anything, as we wrap up the PlayStation talk, the state of play, were there any games that didn't show up that you thought probably should? I know there's one for Grant that he was so mad he didn't get to see, and it involves Smut.
Well, we don't know that it involves Smut. They might go a completely different direction for the sequel. Yeah, man. Still a Blade. So we know when the game came, like a month after the game came out, they were like, yeah, we're working on a sequel. And then a couple of weeks back, they confirmed the sequel's in active development. They started teasing some crossover stuff recently that I don't think they revealed yet. Potentially Silent Hill, potentially Resident Evil. But yeah, nothing since. I know that it's kind of early, but I think between what they've got and how long it's been a year and a half now, maybe there's something. Maybe there's like a title screen or a splash or something they could bring out,
A bit of a jiggle.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we said, right?
Yeah.
Let's give us something. But that's the only thing that I was really banking on. I had the pipe dream stuff like Killzone or whatever, but who didn't,
I'm more disappointed. I think AP brought it up when they showed the God of War controller for the 20th anniversary. I expected them to then transition into the reveal of something.
Yes, some kind of rematch.
I was so excited. I'm like, 20th anniversary. Give me a new remaster of the trilogy. Whatever. I know we've had that before, but give me another one. I don't care. But give me that 2D, 2.5D game. Like, give me something. And then we didn't get shit with it, and I got really, really disappointed to where I'm like, granted, Wolverine came next and kind of swung that, but I was like, come on. That's really all you're giving us? Dude, I thought they were doing what they did with Resident Evil at the Summer Game Fest. We're like, we'll have more on Resident Evil 9 later on. And then 10 minutes later, psych! And we didn't get that.
It's later on. Yeah.
Technically he's right. A lot of people are thinking the Game Awards is where it'll show up. Probably at this point. But it doesn't mean I wasn't sad.
Nah, dude, I agree with you. It was, and that's what I was gonna say too. I just thought it was kind of bizarre. I thought it would have been like a great opportunity to have that like show up there, and even if it would have been like a remaster of that, or we've been talking in past shows, we've been talking about the what is it, the God of War, like the Greek God of War game. We haven't heard anything about that recently. I think it's been a few weeks as far as that goes, or at least months, anyways. But yeah, that would have been nice. Just something. But
Yeah,
just
man.
the controller. Here you go. Yeah, we're off to. Yeah, it was just bizarre, bro.
My favorite comment: toxic. The controller was made by a 10-year-old who had a bloody nose on his white controller, and then they marketed it. Kyle,
That's
Probably-
actually
probably-
hilarious.
Probably when they smacked Jim Ryan across the face.
Tom, was there anything
Oh
that
my
wasn't there
God,
that
man.
you were hoping was there? Knights of the Old Republic, that game you've been playing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in agreement with everyone else. I was expecting the God of War Metroidvania type game. But yeah, a little thing that I do want to mention as well, because so many people ran with this last week, is all I said is that
Uh-oh.
Kratos in the next mainline God of War had a curved Egyptian-like sword, and then all of a sudden it suddenly meant that it's going to be an Egyptian God of War game. It's going to be set in 200 BC and all this kind of stuff, and so many people ran with it and started making up quotes that I never even said. It's just like,
It got our episode 10,000 views.
Yeah, man, it went off.
yeah,
Man.
but it's like,
Quick, Tom, say something else.
Right?
How great is Knights of the Old Republic, Tom?
it is pretty good.
Quick, say something about lightsabers, man. That's it. That's all we need. Just
But yeah, like, please don't take what I say and just make stuff up on top of it. Like I said, he has an Egyptian-like sword. It doesn't mean that it's an Egyptian God of War game or whatever. Maybe I just assumed based on what I've been seeing. But yeah, I mean, disappointed didn't see that. I guess I kind of was expecting Marathon to be there.
Yeah, then I think Paul Tassi came out with the report literally hours before. It was like, hey, it ain't going to be there. And I'm,
yeah, so that was kind of a bit like, well,
the game's dead.
yeah,
That's all that
yeah.
signals to me. It's just
Yeah.
dead.
Fair Game $sign wasn't there.
Oh, yeah.
Where was the
I
Concord?
think you're the
reboot?
only one keeping fair game $sign going.
Concord
Well,
reboot. Where
I
was
didn't
that?
know.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
guys see
but-
the leaked images of Black Flag remake?
That were immediately debunked.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
this is fake.
It reminded me of the leaks of like bygone days, man. It was like so nondescript, blurry images, slightly tilted, that kind of stuff. I was like, oh man, that was great.
And then someone brought up, the release date. Someone brought up, Marathon was technically supposed to read not yesterday. It was supposed to release on the 23rd originally.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
It is not. I'll be surprised
know,
if we
like-
see that.
Yeah, I just feel like there is so many PlayStation stuff that they could have shown. But again, it's just going back to like, I just feel like we need a bigger showcase now.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, because it's like it's so obvious what's going to happen for like the Game Awards, right? Like they're going to show off probably a new clip of Intergalactic or a new clip of, I don't know, like another major IP, and it's like we should just, I don't know, I just don't like this whole spacing out between everything. And
I'm also a fan of you don't show things for a game or announce a game until you're within a year of release.
yeah, but
I'd even
I mean,
say 6 months.
yeah, they
Oh.
do it for obvious reasons, though, like hiring talent and all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't
Breaking news.
Damn.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys for
Yep.
this. This is a change for everybody tuning in. Doug Bowser is retiring from Nintendo. So Mario has officially beaten Bowser. So long, gay Bowser. And he is retiring as from the president and role as chief operating officer of Nintendo of America. That is huge because he took over for Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Mhm.
And I'm interested to see what happens next. I don't know what's going to happen. Things are just going to keep moving forward, but it is a big deal.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. It seems like it's kind of out of the blue. Saw the headline. I was like, what?
Emails just went out, and that it's one of those things that's hard to react to because what did Doug Bowser really do in his time? He just kept the Nintendo train moving along.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
is he retiring from the industry entirely, or is he moving on to a different?
According to the press
60.
release, let's see, he's
Yeah.
leaving. He's retiring on December 31st after more than a decade in multiple leadership. He'll be succeeded by Devin Pritchett, a 19-year veteran of the video game industry and longstanding member of the Nintendo of America leadership team. In addition, Satoru Shibata will join Nintendo of America as chief executive officer while continuing his role as managing executive officer and corporate director. So it doesn't say, it just says, it goes over his accomplishment during his time. The company saw significant expansion into entertainment. So, I mean, Doug Bowser will be remembered as the guy who helped guide Nintendo into movies.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be
Yeah.
his biggest thing. Nintendo into movies, because the Super Mario movie was fantastic. They have the Legend of Zelda movie coming up. They have the next Super Mario
Next
Galaxy
Mario.
movie.
Yep.
They have more
Mhm.
Pokemon shows with Pokemon Concierge and stuff like that. So he's definitely going to be remembered on the entertainment side. The gaming side, it's kind of just been status quo.
Yeah, I mean, best of luck to him. And
Yeah, it doesn't say anything
Yeah,
about if
that's
he's moving on to another company either. It's just he's retired.
well, it says he's retiring, so
Yeah, he's 60. He's he's done his due. He's done.
I
his
don't know
time.
what retirement's going to be like.
I know, right?
Play some video games, man. Or do you mean your retirement personally?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm never gonna-
Yeah,
We,
exactly.
AP's in the same boat. He knows. We're never going to
Mm.
retire, man.
Yeah, man. It's just you're just a cog on the.
You
on
know
the
what my
machine.
retirement's going to look like? My retirement's going to look like, welcome to Walmart. Welcome to Walmart. And then hold out hoping people let me see their receipts to check them. And then when they ignore me and tell me to get bent, I could just go, ah! That's my retirement plan.
Well, they're making it that far, bro. That's it, man.
Oh, man.
So there's some breaking news. Doug Bowser, so long. Man, the weird thing is, like, I don't know if it's I think when it comes to that, now I'm thinking of what is the messaging going to be like when Phil Spencer eventually retires? Because that's happening. Like that was that report. Remember, he was gone.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm wondering when I think that's going to be a bigger story than Doug Bowser, just because of what it's going to.
Yeah,
be.
because his legacy is a little more complicated. To say the least.
what's the rumor that he's out when the next gen launches?
Yeah, that was the rumor. He's leaving once the next gen
Man.
launches, and Sarah Bond is taking over in 2027. Like
Everyone's going to cut soon, though, man. Like for me, the big one for me is going to be when Todd Howard leaves Bethesda, because he said he's doing it. He said Elder Scrolls 6 would be like his last game or something.
Should have
I don't
happened
know- I don't know if
already.
That
He's
was what it
kind
was,
of-
but yeah, but you get people that are like that, aren't they? They just want to hold on. Like Kojima
get
has
it.
basically said he's going to create till he drops. So
Kojima's the same
guys will
way.
be-
Yeah.
They'll be hanging in until until they physically can't do it anymore. But like
Hell, I
Todd
think-
Howard,
Go on, sorry.
for him to like potentially be coming out before the next Fallout game, I wonder what kind of gravitas that will have on the direction of it, and that'll be interesting to see what happens.
Running out of leather jacket.
He is running out of the jackets. Yeah, he has to get them specially made because he's really small too.
I'd say Kojima will be the same way, but based on his recent comments about wanting to scan real ghosts into a game, he's
Yeah,
going to make
that
them
was
in the
Last
afterlife.
dude still
You know
coming.
what?
Yeah, I'm looking.
You know
I'm
what?
looking.
You know
I'm
what?
looking
I'll say,
forward.
man, if anyone can do it, Kojima could do it, bro.
I'm
He'll
looking
stand
forward
there
to him.
feet first and work his way up.
I'm looking forward
We
to
know
him
about that,
scanning Father Christmas for Death Stranding 2 and maybe Easter Bunny next year.
Depends what their feet look like, man.
When Tom Henderson retires, gaming will be done.
Hey, it might be
Luckily,
soon at
he's
this
really
rate.
young, so you've got ages.
Yeah, Tom's only like 19 years old, guys.
Yeah, it's just a voice
Yeah.
changer he puts on. He's actually really squeaky voice. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, I sound like
Confirm that.
Mike's floorboards.
I need to get something, man. It's been,
Carpets are being installed
rug.
this week.
Yeah. Yep.
dude. I wish carpets are so
Soundproofing.
expensive. We're starting to run along. We got to start winding down. Any final takeaways on what we've had over the last 48 hours with Xbox, PlayStation, whatever? Anything that we didn't
oh
get to?
man, like I think I dipped into the whole Tokyo Game Show Xbox bit where they kind of, I'd say they blue balled me a bit. with the Fallout bit where you had John Rush and Bill Lacoste coming up talking about how everyone's built these amazing camps or whatever it was they were talking about on there. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm sitting on, there's some. I'm not allowed to say anything impression-wise, but there's some massive news coming out for Fallout 76 and crazy news. And I thought they were going to drop that early, and I wasn't watching the stream, so I was like scrabbling to try and get the stream out to be like, oh my god, are they changing the embargo and I haven't known about it or something? But no, I was thinking there'd be something there, but I don't know how they're going to announce what they're announcing or where it's going to be. But now that there's nothing lined up like event-wise, it's just going to be their own thing, I guess. Don't know how they're going to do it, but it's a pretty big deal. So I don't know. Keep an eye out on the airwaves, insidergaming.com, because we'll have it the second I'm allowed to write about it.
we got a lot coming up. Make sure you leave a like on this video if you're watching. The likes help tell YouTube that people should watch us and listen to us. And people were mentioning in the comments, every show's got to have a heel or a villain, and I'm proud to wear that cape. I will be the bad guy who's with, like most villains in movies and and comics, they technically all have a point.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of the capitalist around here. I'm kind of the,
You're that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll share. We know we got the goody two shoes on this side of the screen. Tom. Wow.
Oh man,
that's harsh.
Say it like
people
it is,
listening.
Dang. Wow.
That's rude, Karen.
Wow.
You know what?
I mean,
your name.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Typical name. Typical Karen.
Tea, bro.
Typical Karen. And
man.
you know what's funny, real quick? So Karen says Mike's not even a villain. I just suck. I had a teacher, real aside as we start to wind down, because of my last name. He would do these stupid puns to do attendance in high school and be like, you suck on him to get your milk, Mr. Straw. And I'm like, don't ever say that again. Oh, Jesus.
God,
that took a second to hit me there, man. Oh, my God.
Never.
Children, too.
Pause.
Yeah.
Context. Stop. No wonder your wife left you. You're weird. Like,
That's nuts.
Dude, that's wild, man.
oh, Alley Cat, a teacher. I've had teachers call me, way worse than saying I suck. I've had that. I've had teachers call me mentally challenged. I've been the same way my whole life. What you see on this show is just a part of it.
What you see is what you get.
One of the games people were hoping for, and we're going to finally address it before we wind down. We don't know anything about Venom. We don't know if MP First Report is right. That outlet makes stuff up. Maybe, I don't know. They just deep dive on LinkedIn, or they throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks, and then they cry about it after the fact. That's all I'll say. You want Mike to be a villain? I'll go score. Let's go.
Oh man.
Let's go. It's time to leave. My voice cracked.
It's time to leave.
We're going to do a better job of exiting this week than we did last week, where I just said bye and shut the show down. You can follow Insider Gaming at Insider Gaming IG on Twitter, insider-gaming.com on Blue Sky. Visit our website at insider-gaming.com. Grant is at newcov_. AP is at the weekly wrap-up. I'm at Mike Star Media. Tom is look for the snowblower, which apparently means once it runs out of gas, you will retire. And AP, we missed you last week. You held it down in the chat, but you're back now to hold it down on the outro. Take it away.
Yeah, we won't be just saying goodbye and then just ending the stream. I appreciate you guys.
Longer. I didn't even say goodbye. I just said bye.
You just said bye. Yeah, it wasn't even goodbye. It was just bye. Oh, crazy. For Grant, Mike, and Tom, I am, of course, your host with the most A to the P, Albert Perkins, and we will see you on the inside.